Hi, good morning, everyone. And I'm Dr. Ankit, and welcome to my therapy practice. Today's session is a little different because my patient isn't here physically, but her story is, and honestly, her history needed a therapist a long time ago. So, my patient today is Begum Jan from the Ismat Chugtai short story, The Quilt, written in 1942. The main theme of this story is the depression, and especially what happens to a woman when society refuses to acknowledge her emotion and physical needs. What happens when desire has no language, no space, no permission to exist. So let's begin the session. Pause. Look, then Begum Jan, you were married to a Nawab, a wealthy man who had status, a big house, servant. From the outside, your life looked a complete, but you can't sleep at night. You were restless, irritable, and your body was a level uncomfortable. And you need to consist manager masses. You were, to put it simply, miserable. So my first question to you is, what were you actually afraid of? And the answer, when I look at your case, is this: you were not afraid of something outside, you were afraid of yourself. So the feeling you had no words from our needs, that your world had no category, your husband had no interest in you emotionally, not physically. You were initially invisible inside your own marriage. And when a person is invisible for long enough, they start disappearing from themselves. So that restlessness, that wasn't physical problem, that was emotional starvation. Then this is part of your case that I find my significantly the narrator of this story. And the young girl, a child, she stay with you, and at night, see the quilt moving, she horrified, she doesn't understand what she seeing, and honestly, that's the moment is the heart of the entire story. And because of this, quilt is a cover, literally a metaphor, and it's a cover what is happening in the cover, what cannot be a name it. So cover a relationship between you and Rabbo, and you made the only person who gave your warmth, touch, and attention. Chugtai is doing something very deliberate here. She doesn't describe anything explicitly, and she lets equals do the work because the exactly how society operate your cover. It's you don't name it, you pretend isn't there. The child narrator feel horror because she being rise in a world that's taught her whatever this is wrong and shameful, so she doesn't even understand it's a fully, but she already been giving a reaction. She's supposed to have that no bigger than failure, that's a failure of the world she lived in. And so what is my interpretation as the her therapist? Begum Jan was not a broken woman, she was a woman who was failed by the loveless marriage, by a society that gave women no emotional agency, and by a language that had no space for her identity. Chingtai wrote this story at the time when, just right, it was a considered obscene. She was actually taken the court for it, and the reaction that outrage proved her point better than anything else could. We call things obscene when they make us uncomfortable. We don't ask why the person in pain got there. And and this is what this story make me think about in my own life. How many times do we look at someone behavior, their anger, their neatness, their weirdness, and label it as the problem with them instead of the asking what they were never given. Begum Jan didn't need judgment, she need exactly what she never got to be seen. My diagnosis for her: a woman punished by her circumstance, not by her character. That's my therapist. So that's all about the my patient, Mrs. Begum Jan. All about the. Thank you.